Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. Her laughter died the moment the words left her mouth. At least my ex was bigger. It wasn't whispered. It wasn't playful. It was sharp, clear, and laced with the kind of poison that burns slow. We were sitting at the dining table, empty plates, half-finished wine, candles flickering low. The kind of evening couples are supposed to enjoy after a long day. But her joke sliced through it, splitting the air into a silence so deep I could hear my pulse pounding behind my ears. I stared at her. She looked away. "Wow," I said softly, the word carrying more weight than I intended. "That's funny." She blinked, maybe realizing too late that she'd gone too far. "I was just joking," she murmured, forcing a laugh. "God, can't you take a joke?" But the thing about jokes, they always have a little truth hiding inside them. And something in the way she said bigger had a history to it. A memory. I watched her tuck a strand of hair behind her ear, the nervous habit she always had when she lied. "You're right," I said finally, pushing back from the table. "I guess I'm just not in the mood for jokes tonight." Her smile faltered, just slightly. "Don't be so sensitive, Noah." "Sensitive?" I repeated, half laughing. "No, I'm curious. How long have you been comparing me to him again?" That stopped her. She sighed and reached for her wine. "I'm not doing this," she muttered. "You always twist things into drama." But her hand trembled slightly as she lifted the glass, and that was all I needed. Something had shifted between us months ago. I'd felt it in her late-night phone brightness, in the muted notifications, in the way her hugs had grown shorter, her laughter louder but emptier. Every instinct screamed that something was wrong, but I buried it. Because I loved her. Because I didn't want to believe that the woman who once looked at me like I was everything had started looking elsewhere. And now, one careless joke had cracked the facade. Later that night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling while she scrolled beside me. The blue glow of her screen painted her face in cold light. "What are you watching?" I asked quietly. "Just TikToks," she said, not looking up. "Funny ones." "Yeah." Her lips twitched slightly, but not the way they used to when she found something funny. No, the corners of her mouth lifted like she was trying not to smile too much. That smile didn't belong to me anymore. When she finally drifted off to sleep, I turned to face her. Her breathing was slow, calm, peaceful. The phone rested loosely in her hand. For a moment, I hesitated, because once you cross that line, there's no going back. But then I remembered her words. At least my ex was bigger. So I reached for the phone. Face ID failed. Twice. Then, on the third try, it unlocked. The messages were there. Dozens of them. Evan. The ex. Her joke wasn't a joke at all. My stomach twisted as I scrolled through their thread. Months of messages. The kind that start innocent and then slide into something darker. Late-night confessions. Hidden longing. Words you can't unsee. And then, there it was. A photo. Not explicit. But intimate enough to tell me everything. She'd met him. Recently. The next morning, she woke up to the smell of coffee and silence. "Morning," I said, pouring her a cup. My voice was calm, steady, too calm. She smiled cautiously. "You're up early." "Couldn't sleep," I said. "Had some things on my mind." She studied me, her expression tightening. "Noah, are you mad about last night?" "Not at all," I replied, sliding the cup toward her. "I actually thought about it. Maybe you were right." Her brows furrowed. "Right about what?" "That your ex was bigger." I smiled thinly. So I figured I'd reach out to him. Get his opinion on some things. The blood drained from her face. "What did you do?" "Nothing much," I said. "Just sent him a text. Told him you and I had a little talk about him last night. Thought maybe he'd like to know he's still a topic at our dinner table." Her hand froze midair. "You didn't?" "Oh, I did. And guess what?" he replied. She looked like she might faint. "Noah, please tell me you're lying." I leaned forward. "Funny, isn't it? He said you two had a great time at that hotel in June. Said he missed the way you always laughed after. Her eyes filled with tears. Noah, please. Stop, I said quietly. Don't cry. You don't get to cry. The room felt smaller suddenly, the walls closing in around us. The coffee smelled bitter, almost metallic. Why? I asked. My voice cracked without permission. You could have told me you weren't happy. You could have walked away. She shook her head, trembling. It wasn't like that. I was lonely. You were always working, always distracted. And he was what? Comfort. She covered her face, sobbing quietly. I stood there, watching the woman I'd built a life with unravel. My anger faded into something worse. Pity. The kind that burns. After a long moment, I said softly, you know, you could have saved us both the pain if you'd just been honest. She looked up, eyes swollen. Are you leaving me? I smiled faintly. No. You already did that. Then I picked up my keys and walked out. It's strange how silence can echo louder than shouting. The house feels different now, emptier, but lighter too. Every corner still holds her scent, her laugh, her ghost. I replay that night in my head sometimes, her joke, her smirk, her sudden panic when I told her what I'd done. I don't know if I'll ever forgive her. Maybe I don't want to. But the truth is, my reply wasn't about revenge. It was closure. Because sometimes, the only way to wipe the smile off someone's face is to show them the reflection they've been hiding from.